What if your brain could crave doing the hard things? And what if you had the same urges to do what's hard and what's necessary, like the urges that make you eat junk food and watch porn? No, it's not a myth. It's actually quite possible. You just need a factory reset. Let me explain. You do not need more motivation. You just need to strip away all the noise. And once you turn off all the cheap dopamine hits, the hard things naturally stop feeling so impossible. And I can sense it already. Your brain is telling you to click away, right? To something faster, flashier, more stimulating. That urge right there, that's an addiction. And that's the exact reason you need to stay and watch this video. So put this on full screen, turn off all the noise, lock in for a couple of minutes with me here, and let's break this cycle together. Look, we've all been there. You sit down to do something hard, whether that's studying, working out, or building your dream, and it just feels impossible. Why do you think that is? Most people think there's something wrong with them, their brain is broken. But let me tell you, this is not the case. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just a little overwhelmed. Because every single time that you scroll, every single notification that you look at, and every single time that you grab that bag of chips instead of going for a piece of fruit, you're essentially training your brain to go for the easier option, the instant hit. So when it comes down to doing something hard and meaningful, your brain will say, why would I bother? Because it's addicted to those instant rewards. Think about it this way. If you just finished eating a sugary bowl of cereal and then grab a piece of apple, the apple will be completely tasteless. And this is not because apple has no flavor, it's because you trained your taste buds, and your brain in this case, to go for the sugary, delicious thing that only tastes good in the moment but goes down with regret. So what do you do when your brain craves only the easy things that keep you weak, stuck in a loop, and addicted, and avoids doing all the hard things that actually propel you forward in life? Well, you just reset your brain. And not by giving it more dopamine hits, but by something way, way simpler than that. You do it through a dopamine detox. And no, dopamine detox is not about deleting every single app from your phone and living like a monk, although speaking from experience, that would be of a great benefit to your well-being. But you don't have to start there. You can work your way up slowly. Start by eliminating all the noise and give your brain a chance to breathe. Because every single time that you feed it these empty, quick little scrolls, the notifications, the likes, snacks, all this other BS, they slowly drown out the rest of your life. So when it comes down to doing something hard, something meaningful, something that takes effort, your brain doesn't even register it. Because why would it? You can get the same reward that you get from studying for 2 hours and going to bed and acing that exam. You get the same high by pulling up your phone and going on some dirty website. A dopamine detox is about stepping away from all that stupid noise and giving your brain a chance to remind itself what real satisfaction looks like. Not this fake sugary high, but the deep, deep satisfaction knowing you put in the effort for something hard, something meaningful, something that builds you. And here's what most people don't get. The reason hard things feel hard is because their dopamine, or their reward, comes after the work is done. Think about it. You don't feel the dopamine high when you study for 2 hours, but you do when you go to bed knowing you studied and then you ace that exam. That's where you get that deep, deep satisfaction, that deep high. Same thing with working out. You don't feel nice going for a run, but you get that deep satisfaction when you cross that finish line. And that satisfaction cannot be matched with these cheap, stupid, modern hits. And you know what's beautiful? Once you give your brain enough of these deep, fulfilling moments from doing something hard and meaningful, it starts craving them more than the cheap crap. And this is where you make the switch. This is where the hard things stop feeling hard and impossible. They actually start becoming easy, because your brain knows after you do that hard thing, you will get this satisfaction that no amount of scrolling can match. And this is where hard things start feeling like fuel. All right, enough talk. You get it. You trained your brain to go for these quick dopamine hits. So what do now? You retrain your brain through these 5 steps that you can start doing right now. Step number 1, you have to identify what triggers your cheap dopamine hits. Be completely honest with yourself. What do you do when you're bored? What do you do when you're home alone? Do you scroll TikTok? Do you go on that dirty website? Write these things down. Be completely honest with yourself and lock your eyes onto them. Because to defeat the enemy, you have to know the enemy. And the first way that you can defeat the enemy is through step number 2, which is to create friction. Make all of those habits harder to reach. Remove all the junk food from your house. Lock your PS controller in your mom's drawer somewhere that you can't reach. Put a lock on that dirty website that you know you shouldn't be going to. And just by creating some friction between you and the things you know you shouldn't be doing, this will give you that moment of time, that at least a minute for you to reflect, look at it, and realize, okay, I'm being compulsive, I'm being controlled by my urges. So you can take a step back, stop yourself from doing something you know you shouldn't be doing. However, just removing is not enough, because you have to do step number 3, which is replace. Do not just remove. A dopamine detox isn't just about sitting in silence. It's about replacing your bad habits with neutral or ideally productive ones. For example, if you're craving a YouTube endless loop, go for a walk outside without your phone. Craving TikTok? Go help your mom in the kitchen. Porn urges? How about you grab a damn journal and just start brainstorming ideas for your next business? You think there will be a better idea? You think this will help you further your life trajectory? I thought so. This way, the energy that you used to self-sabotage thus far is gonna go into propelling you further. Now, don't get me wrong, you still have to do step number 4, which is to sit with discomfort. I'm not gonna lie to you, the urges will still hit. They will keep punching you in the face, trying to bring you back down to your old habits. And that's normal. That's your brain detoxing from all the poison that you've been feeding it this whole time. So do not panic. This is normal. Sit there. Observe these urges, because eventually they will pass. And every single time that you lock eyes with them and let them pass, you're essentially killing your older weak self and building your stronger self up, which is gonna go straight into step number 5, which is stack small wins. Don't try to completely eliminate everything from your life for 28 days straight, because you'll just end up feeling overwhelmed, stressed out, and eventually you will just succumb back to your urges and you'll be back to your old habits, which is not what we want. You need to start small. Start with just a few hours. And once you nail that, build from there. Because momentum always beats perfection. And stacking these small seemingly wins will give you confidence that next time the urges arrive, you know that you beat them once, so of course you can beat them again. And this creates this positive feedback loop that keeps on feeding on each other, and you just become better and better and better at overcoming your urges. And this is exactly how you take your control back, win by win. And if you just follow these 5 steps that I just outlined for you, you will create so much progress for yourself. But if I'm being 100% honest, the real change happens only when you align your values, your goals, and your truths to your actions. Because detoxing yourself from all this cheap dopamine will do you so much good, but once you're done detoxing, if you're back to your old habits, then what good was it for? The real shift happens when you stop living at mercy of your freaking urges and you start aligning your life to your values. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, everything that you do represents who you are and who you want to be. This is where the real change happens. All right, I've given you the blueprint. I've given you the 5 steps that you need to start taking right now in order to take that control back. Stop living at mercy of your impulses and actually start aligning your life to who you are, to your values, and who you want to become. But now it's time to stop listening and actually do something about it. So here's a challenge for you. For the next 2 hours, I want you to turn your phone completely off. Put it on Do Not Disturb. No notifications, no distractions, no cheap dopamine, no escapes. Just you and one task at hand. One task that actually moves your life forward. I don't care if that's studying, training, working on your craft, or just cleaning your stinky room. I want you to prove to yourself that you are in control. Not your urges, not your impulses, but you and you alone. And if you feel this power, if just for those 2 hours, this is where the real change happens. So don't overthink it. Don't you dare say, I'll do it tomorrow. You gotta start right now. Come back to this video after you're done with those 2 hours. Let us know in the comments how it went, and I will see you soon.